Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very carbonated iron brew. So welcome back to the game, and in the previous episode, among other things, we were building the shop, mailroom, library, etc. to hopefully increase our grading and bring that reoffending rate down. It's actually dropped to 25%, so even better from the last episode, so pretty happy with that. And yeah, we're going to progress on with the same sort of thing. I think we would benefit for some more work, although to be fair, I might have overdone it, altering the regime where we have 6 hours and then 6 hours of work/free time. The problem with that is that they might not be able to fulfill all of their needs, but well, we'll see how we get on. At minimum, I would like to increase the size of the kitchen, and I'm still in two minds whether or not to have the sort of checkpoint thing in there. I think I am going to do it. I think I'm just going to have to basically put up and shut up, get it done. If it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, I can always change it back to the original. Anyway, over to the rooms here where we've got garbage and exports. I'm just going to check the size of the rooms. I don't think there is a really big limit for the size. I think it's a 1x3 or something. So let's go with exports. It is, yeah, 1x3. Garbage is going to be the same, 1x3. Deliveries is probably going to be the same, yes. And storage, I know, doesn't have a limit. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do is reduce it by, say, 3 tiles like that. I'm going to have to reposition... Oh, that's not right. Reposition the scanner here. That's also going to require some connections. So wiring, connections, and there it goes. All now connected in. And what's going on here? Loads of delinquents. Why are delinquents in the facility? That's going to be a program of some kind. Let's have a quick look. It's probably going to be the... Is it 3 strikes or something? Or reformed prisoner consultation? Something like that. Anyway, people are interested in flower therapy. I might have a look at that one. But I'm just going to go over to walls and doors and demolish the walls. And I'm going to demolish that wall there and that wall in there. Then go over to foundations, more. Then obviously the reclaimed wood wall. And it's just going to be basically an extra sort of 3 tiles here. So we'll do something like that. And this will allow for some more prisoners working in the kitchen. I think it'll only be an increase of maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most, because it's not a huge increase in size, this thing, but it is obviously something that I do want to get in. You see all the workers finishing this off, and oh, no lighting in that one. It lit the other one, but not that one. That is curious. Let me go ahead and put 1, 2, 3 bits in there, and all I'm going to do is move these cookers down like so, just double clicking and then going to the bottom there, over to objects, and then we're going to put in some more fridges. So we'll set another set of 4 fridges, and then not that we need it, but we can put some cookers in like so. And with that, we also need to increase the size of the actual room, so we'll do something like that. And then over to logistics and prison labour, and we can get, yeah, only another 2 extra inmates, only an extra 2, but it is still more than we had previously, so it is now done. Okay. So, for the, this over here, let me just double check. Going to go to intelligence and the last 7 days, and we can see, oh, good grief. Loads of stuff found here. Loads of bottles of poison and cigarettes and things. I'm guessing that's because they're smelly. Let's just check dangers here. And poison, and yes, it's narcotics and smelly. So the doggo, which is normally positioned around here, is sniffing them out. What I'll do then is check deployment and go for dog handlers. I'm going to put 1 in the laundry and 1 in the cleaning cupboard. That'll hopefully stop more contraband. But yeah, if we want to like try and stop some of the drugs, I think they are coming out from here. It means us changing this up, but it means things like dismantling the CCTV. I'm going to do this. I've been sort of threatening to build this thing for a while. The phone booths, though, is the curious one. Now, it's nice to have in, and obviously they will fulfill certain needs. Let me just go for phone booths here. It says, allow prisoners to talk to families fulfilling their family need. It doesn't mean to say that we need it actually in here. It's just something that we often put there. If I was to move it, where can I move it to? Well, I can definitely put it in common room. Truth be told, I can put it in the yard. That's one thing that often miss out, that we've obviously not put anything in the yard, and that's where probably the phone booths can be. Yeah, let's just go to dismantle, and I'm going to dismantle all of that. I'm going to dismantle those bits, and I'll have to relight this thing. Dismantle all of those, and go back to lighting, because, as I said, they're going to be ripping out some of the lights here, so we'll put a light back in there, put a light back in there, and similarly on the other side, one there, one in there, and is it there and there? Something like that. Okay, so let's also go for... I might have to change these benches as well because they're a bit close to the wall. So one of these is going to be in, one of them's going to be out. I'm guessing that... actually, the one coming in, as if we're doing checkpoints, the one coming in, I don't necessarily need a metal detector. It's just the one going out that... Well, I don't actually need either, but I'd like both of them. Let's go one there, rotate that one there, and then we're going to go for a demolishing of the walls, those two and those two, and then we'll see about... This is going to be obviously a big change in the staffing level as well, which is curious, but we're going to put the metal detectors in like so, and then we'll have in the walls, so you can't basically go around these things. If that was to happen, then it'd be sort of pointless really in doing this in the first place if we could just circumnavigate the whole issue entirely. Let's go with table there, bench either side, and then I think it would be of some benefit for us to have maybe one and one, and then tables on either side, and that should fulfill all of the size requirements there. Apparently there's a tunnel in this area. That could be legitimate, but is unlikely. Just going to do a tunnel search as a matter of course, and I think we're going to have to maybe dismiss that vehicle because we're basically stuck with 57 packets of bacon, and that's no joke. It literally is. Anyway, yeah, we can see them all in here, look. And it still says to install, so I don't know why the workers have yet to do that. All of these, yeah, it says install. It does say install checkpoint, and we've got that here. I think it's just a case of the scanner machine. Is it not? I mean, I did connect it up. I'm sure I did. Let me just double check the utilities and wiring, and yeah, it is definitely connected and it is working. I'm guessing it's just a bit of a sizing issue. Yeah, I think it's just a case of we haven't moved everything off, and I'm going to go with deliveries. Deliveries. I'm going to change that entire thing to deliverage. Storage. I'm going to put some storage over here. I'm just going to put it in there for now. That's going to be temporary permanent, I can guarantee it. Let's see how we get on with that one. I think they were just having to move stuff first. That's probably what's gone on there. We'd run out of actual storage space. Over to our wiring and to the CCTV. I can place the CCTV back in there like so, and I'm also going to go for the, where is it, the phone booths, and I'm going to put phone booths in, where shall I put the phone booths? I could just like line them along here, and there's no reason why we can't. Or do I put them there and there? No, because I'm gonna change this up anyway. I'm gonna be redoing that, I think. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put a set of these in. Would it be is it pointless putting them in this area? It probably is. Yeah. I was going to put them in here, but then you've got like for the family needs and then family needs all in one room. So that's a bit pointless. I could cram them in here, couldn't I? Do something like that. Yeah, why not? That'll probably suffice. We can see the CCTV has now been installed, which is good. Need to connect that up. So that's actually got, what's that say? Total number of connections 8, maximum connections 8. So I actually need more CCTV. Right, okay. Well, I'll put that in. How are we doing for the checkpoints? Still not in. That's a bit of a worry. I think they just haven't scanned it yet. Yeah, see, they're going through the scanner now. I think it's just been a case of it's taken some time to get put in. Okay. Over to staffing and to guards, and I'm going to hire some more of those. Probably another couple of dog handlers. For that, we will require some more staff training. So I'm going to start that off. First aid, fire, and guard taser. So the checkpoint's now in, which is good. Let's just go to utilities and wiring and get that connected up. Nope, it's still this scanner issue. Can I put another scanner in it? Or is it this helicopter dismiss vehicle? Paul Wyatt has been released, but sadly they're just sitting on the helipad. Okay, what about this one here? That's Prisoners, visitors, teachers, spiritual leaders, parole officers, delinquents, and dismiss. Yeah. There still is some issues when it comes to the helicopters and such, which is a bit of a shame. See how we get on though. Lots of metal sheets here. Apparently lots of eggs as well. And that more visitors? Yeah, okay. The checkpoint's in, which is the main thing, and installing the CCTV is in progress. We can see they're on the way with that one. That's fine. So wiring, connections, and it's going to be from there. Requires electricity. I'll need to connect that up if we need it. That's already connected up. I thought that'd be the case. Okay, fine. And also I'm going to do that just to get some wiring in here. So hopefully this is going to stop a lot more contraband and that sort of thing. Let's go with maybe some flooring then in and around these areas because, well, we just don't have any. So I'm going to go with a brown carpet in this area, like so. And for the... We want basically to use wood where possible. So like the dark wood flooring or the carpet brown. I think I'm going to go with carpet brown in here. Carpet brown in here as well in the parole areas. Carpet brown here. Mail room. I think all of this we can go with... Should we go with wooden floor? I think so. It's going to be a bit of an expenditure, but, you know, we don't often build... Wow, okay, so I've literally spent about 55 grand on placing a lot of this in. Alright, well, at least it's something different, right? I'm using the iron floor in the cleaning cupboard. Anything that's a bit more industrial will run with that one. And for this area, I'd like to use maybe white tiles, but we're going with, like, say, this brown colour. So it might even just be a case of sticking with the wood. I think we're probably going to do that, but we would be totally out of money, so I guess that isn't happening. Okay. It looks like... Ah, yes, deliveries is totally, totally stocked up. All right. One prisoner passed the 3 strikes program is the last thing we need for the reform program research, and 1 prisoner passed the general education course for the reform to education initiative. Let's just double check the programs and make sure that we are running that. So it's 3 strikes training. So spiritual guidance, solar panel development, 3 strikes program. Yeah, 3 strikes training. So that's curious. 1 prisoner passed the 3 strikes program. 3 strikes program, 12 interested, 4 finished, 0% have passed. So we've done the training, we just haven't done the other stuff, which is the downside, really. Okay, fine. So we've got some more prisoner intake, which is good. That's a total of 50 inmates in total. I'm just going to go to planning, and I'm just going to remove a lot of the planning in and around here. We can see all of the wood is getting placed, which is fine. And there's the 3 strikes program that people are running, and then we got the all the delinquents. That's what they were in here for before. That's all good, all good. Also, an exhausted teacher doing 3 strikes training. How are they exhausted? I mean, I do have the... Where is it? I do have the... It's got security, kennel, classroom, armory. It's got a staff room. We do have a very small staff room. It's fine for the size it is. Let's just double check our reform. Reoffending rate has dropped to 25%, which is good. If we could get that under 20%, I would probably class that as a bit of a win. Work, I think it's actually dropped from 4 to 3, but punishment and reform has gone up to 5 out of 10, which is all good. In terms of our policy, we've got high quantity and variety for meals, which is all good. Do we need to turn on allow staff keys? No. Prioritize marrying? No. Don't need to do any of that, really. Okay, fine. I'm just curious of the staffing costs that have massively increased, but I mean, I think it's probably worth it. Sorry, is that guard dog called Riot and the dog handler called Dread? If there's one staff member I would not mess with, it's it's that person. We can see the visitor booths are working very well, where you've got basically they come in here. All this is staff only. Just double check that. Yeah, that's staff only. So they'll come around in and around here. So nothing is passed through that one, which is good. I'm just going to double check the, where is it? Intelligence in the last 24 hours. We can see that we have been able to find through the checkpoint several things. It's just, how has it been brought in? It doesn't make sense. It being, I mean, that's stolen, I can totally understand that. For the booze, it was thrown in. Interesting, even though this is set to staff only. How has it been thrown in? It should be more than 10. Yeah, it's 12. Don't know how that's happened. But we can see now them coming in to eat, and there's enough positions for them to sit at the table, yes. Do you think we probably need some more cooks? Yeah, probably another 2 more cooks would be nice. I just think the cleaning is not really there. Okay. What's also not there is the bank balance. You seem to be selling trees. They're buying trees, but not selling them. And there's 1, 2. So we've got prisoner reform reward, which is good. And then we've also got power export of 4,000, which is more good. Alright, rooms-wise then, what are we missing out on? Well, I've kicked it down the road enough that I should probably get on with restaurant or the bakery. In fact, I'm probably going to combine the two, and they're going to go in basically this one area, and we'll have a restaurant and a bakery in here, and then I think the other one is going to be for some sort of maybe farming, although I'm very hesitant to do that. Although, you know what we could probably do? Just to increase our bank balance, get more inmates. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bank loan, 25,000 for that one, but I'm going to quick build custom cloning, and I'm going to copy basically this entire run. So I'm going to copy that, and then it will go in there, and I'm probably going to do the other 2 as well. So we'll get that, and in like so. So, going to be a bit of money spent here, but we are getting close to our capacity of inmates, which is great. I think I'm going to end up smashing down some of this extra area and putting in the flower garden. The problem with that is that it's accessible by everybody. So, yeah, ideally you want it so you go through a checkpoint, because flower garden, I believe you can spawn all manner of tools. I'm going to dismiss that helicopter because it seems to be sitting there for quite some time, and I'm also going to get another bank loan just because we are in quite a low bit of capital. Yeah, all good, all good. Let's just double check how many people are working. Logistics, prison labour. We see you've got people working in everywhere, basically. So there's a lot of potential for prisoners to work. There's just, you know, not enough prisoners for the rest of it, which is why I guess building farming and stuff probably wouldn't do anything. I can even increase the amount of people working in the cleaning cupboard and the laundry, but I've sectioned that down a bit just so the people can work in here. And what on earth? Look at all the license plates in there. Wow. We have produced some amount of license plates. They're just not exporting it. It's just the sizing thing here. We've got Ainsley, who's just OD'd, found drugs. Let's see here. Intelligence last 7 days. Drugs. So smuggled. Look at that. It literally comes from smuggled from there and goes to there. Alright. Well, we'll keep this as it is, because it is still working. Just going to move some planning from there. Yeah, it is still working. Lots of stuff on this helicopter. I'm not going to dismiss it yet. What I am going to do is decrease our bank loan. I don't want to be keeping that loan any more than I have to by just taking a loan or dropping it off. We'll get a nice middle ground of getting our interest down and keeping the credit rating up. We can get a total of 250,000 if we were so inclined. Don't think we need to do anything like that. But obviously it depends on the next thing that we build. So we've got 4 rooms that we can utilise. I think this bottom left one here, this is going to be the restaurant and the bakery. This one, if we are going to do it, will be farming, which means we've got 1 and 2 rooms remaining. For what? Well, we don't need a cinema, we don't need a fight club, we don't need a cage. Although that goes on the outside, can go on the outside anyway. Yeah. Gym, don't really need a gymnasium. That, in fact, that would only really supply place for inmates to exercise and release their pent-up aggression, or train to handle disagreements the old-fashioned way. That would be a supply of digging implements in the form of the overstarched shirt, the towel. That would work that way. Anything else up here? I think it's just building these rooms. The bakery and such. Whoa, why have we gone to minus 4,500? Minus 15,000 for prisoner reoffending rate. Well, that's suboptimal, isn't it? Let's go for reform. Oh, to be fair, reform is pretty good. Its average reoffending rate has dropped to 23% now. Sadly, if we check release prisoners, we can see that some of them have indeed reoffended. Yeah, you get 1,000 for prisoners leaving and finding job in like restaurants, cleaning agencies, etc. So it's 1,000, but as soon as someone reoffends, it's 5,000, which is, well, not ideal. Have 1 prisoner pass the general education course? Let me just double check that one. So it is programs and foundation we're running. General, we've got 5 interested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that list. It's only about 1/3 of the way through the progression. Kitchen safety and hygiene I can probably stop, because we don't need to be running all of those. There's 9 interested, it says. Pharmacological treatment, drug addiction, we've got 10 in the queue, but there's only 1 person running it and nobody actually on the thing. I think the rest of it is okay. 3 strikes training we're running, 18 interested, 23% pass, it's a 50% pass rate. But I was going to say, why have we not done that? I was looking at the reform prison consultation, 1 passed 50%, but it's 3 strikes program we need to do. Okay, fine. Looks like the supply helicopters are still absolutely full. Nothing much we can really do about that. But look at the amount of license plates. I don't know how we've not exported them yet. Let me just double check. We're going to go with deliveries. Exports is in, and it is linked to a helipad. I think it's just because we're waiting to move that one. I think that's obviously the downside, where the helicopters have to be unloaded, and then it goes from there. So it's just a case of it's a throughput issue. Although at some point we're going to have to get rid of these license plates. And there's some prisoner intake as well. There we go. We got another 7,500 for prisoner intake, which is going to increase our cash flow, which is handy. And there's some exports now, so we are starting to export stuff. I'm a bit concerned about the sort of food requirement. Don't know if we have the amount of food required. I think we'll be okay. Don't know whether I'll be able to build all the cells down the bottom. It's unlikely, but we'll see. I'm waiting for the windows to be put in. In fact, most of the windows are put in, I think, so I should be able to then check deployment and then staff only. That's probably what's happened when it comes to stuff being thrown in, actually. I hadn't set this to staff only, or we had, but it changed up when these cells had been completed. Yeah, I think that's probably what's happened there. Okay, fine. Now, obviously, with all of these inmates, we've got another 14 inmates, which means hopefully more people working. Prison labour, yep, we've got a lot of people working in the workshop. Max jobs is 23, qualified prisoners are 24. We've also got people working, I don't know why it's scattershot like it is. We've got prisoners working in the library, in the mailroom, in the shop. So prisoners can get luxuries. Let's just check needs out here. We can see there's actually a 0 need for luxuries. And that's because it's it's been fulfilled, I would guess. A little bit of a need for food and comfort. Drugs and alcohol, obviously we're working on with the program stuff. But yeah, that's fine. That's all good. Almost finished over here, which is handy. In fact, no, it is now finished, which is great. So I think then it's time I spend even a bit more, spend even more money on building this area here. So this is going to be, like I say, a room probably for baking and for restaurant stuff. It's going to give us more options, isn't it, long term? Just going to check where the door is on this one. The door should be there. And then for this one, it's... where is it? It'll be there, won't it? We'll have to have one on the other side. I know the odd sizes has offended some people. It's just part of the course, really, with a design like this, I'm afraid. I do prefer symmetry, as most people will be aware, but yeah, we'll do what we must because we can. And now it's now. Looks like all of the exports are getting brought over now. Prisoner letter. Oh, there's a mail. There's outgoing mail there. How curious. Just going to go ahead and... Oh, reoffending rate has jumped up to 31%. That's because people have came into the facility. That is a curious thing, though. It means that people are coming here from civilian life with a higher reoffending rate than when they leave. Does that mean we're doing okay? I think so. Looks like there's serious complaints for some inmates. It's that hygiene need. It's because they didn't have the free time to look after it, because they go straight from... Let's check. Straight from sleep to eat. Because we've got 6 hours and 6 hours of work free time. That's what's happened there. Okay. Just dismiss that vehicle and let it go. And then there's a couple of guys here that are just questioning their life choices. Okay. Do I want to build the bakery and let's have a quick look. Bakery. So, restaurant. It needs to be surrounded by walls and doors, so I'm going to have to potentially separate this room. I can do that. I'll separate it down the middle, I think. Just double check the planning. 16. 18. So there's no middle. Well, technically there is, it's that. That's the middle. Okay. I guess we'll do maybe this. Because if I go for restaurant, it's going to shout at me for... doesn't say surrounded. Yeah, it says surrounded. Yeah, it does. And bakery. Okay. So we'll put the walls and doors in. Like that. And like that. And doors will go there. This other room, let's say, I've yet to mark it for any particular room. But we'll see. Okay. How many people are working now? I bet the reoffending rate's dropped again. Let's have a look. Reform. 30%. Only by a point. But it's still a point. Did the punishment... I was going to say, punishment went up and reform grades went up. It's hovering between 4 and 5. Getting loads of money as well. Because of exports. Because there's so many more people working in the... Alex Cleef. Snitch and foodie. Killed for being a snitch. Only just spotted that. Because we had that open and yeah. Okay. I mean, is anyone else dangers? Security. Vulnerable. Yeah, the only one that's marked as vulnerable. Okay. Well, looks like we're going to get Hearst helicopter coming in at some point. Let me just run this electrical cable in there. Probably going to have to run it on this side as well. Similar to how we've got the other one. Just double check. Loads of stuff we found. Finding loads of stuff as they come in here. I mean, danger levels going down. People are coming through enough, so that's fine. Let's just double check the... Where is it? These two guys here. Informants. Potential CI. Recruit informant. Another potential CI. Recruit informant. Okay, good. And looks like Alex is still there. Is it one of these helicopters that is stuck? We often have to dismiss them. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. We've done a bit of changing when it comes to the kitchen and the canteen. We've got in, obviously, the building over here for the restaurant and the bakery, which we have not yet completed, but we will look at doing. I'm just going to go to flooring here, and I'm going to put some flooring in like so, using the lighter wood just to offset it from the corridor. 14,000 that cost. Good grief. Okay, well, I'll spend the same amount over here as well. And, yeah, there's a tunnel. That could be legitimate, that one. Dismantle toilet and sink and prioritise. It's not legitimate. Or if it is legitimate, it's just really well hidden. Alright, we're going to leave that for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. We've managed to get, as I said, slightly altered kitchen and canteen. Hopefully it's going to be more secure. We've got, obviously, more inmates. And we're on our way for restaurant and bakery. Basically, we've got a higher reoffending rate than the last episode. Might sound bad, but we've also got a lot more inmates. Once we get this done, the bottom bit, which I think I am actually going to prioritise the building of that and this. If we get both kitchens and canteens done, then just get more inmates. Then we know that we're on the maximum amount that we can have, which obviously means really good cash flow, which apparently that's 47,000. How curious. Yeah, I think that's probably the way forward. And then I can get some of the other rooms in. Alright, well, we're going to leave that for now, and we'll see how we get on in the next episode. As always, comments in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.